going on, everybody? It's your boy Rail back with another review, man. Yo, it is not Teller Tuesday. That was yesterday. But it's Sons of Anarchy Season 2, Episode 5. FIF 5th? Alright, we are here. And I'm going to go ahead and give this episode... I'm going to rank this episode right out of the gate. Okay? I need to start getting more consistent with my ranking. Sometimes I rank an episode, sometimes I don't. I'm realizing I'm doing that. I probably still won't be consistent. I just don't know if that's on brand for me. Consistency? I think you'd agree. Yeah. So I don't know. But I'm going to give this a strong 9. Oh, yeah. I'm going to give it a strong 9. Because we're seeing a chess match going on this season. Like, last season, we was more so getting to know the crew, and their biggest opposition were, I guess, the Mayans. Yeah, the Mayans was their number one problem. And that was kind of clear cut. It was like, we shoot them, they shoot us, we try to kill them more times. Oh, here comes the Niners. Which side are we on? Do we support them? Do we don't? It was a lot of that. And then you had the ATF agent on our back. But that's like a universal op, right? The police. Anytime you're a crime syndicate. So you're just trying to wiggle your way out of that while you're doing a whole bunch of gangland fighting. So, but there was no chess needed to be played. There was no maneuvering. It was a lot of run and gun in season 1. Season 2, with these white nationalists, with Zobel, it's I don't know if the Neanderthal clay is built for this. The third man on the evolution chart. I don't know if he's prepped for this situation. And in this episode, you feel, this was the episode you feel the most like, holy shit, Clay is not about to be president soon. Or you get that notion. Because he gets that notion. He's feeling it. Every time he's got to do hand exercises and shoot shit into his hands, and he just lumbers around like a retired man, but actively holding down an entire MC. And so, but you see Jax like applying pressure, but not at the same time. And Zobel, the nationalists, they not no run and gun. These are premeditated, plotted, thought out, and it couldn't be the worst situation for the Suns. They are not prepared for this. There's one person up for the challenge, and that is Jax. And in this episode, I don't want to say he's shining, because he's always been more reserved, but they show us a different side. But we'll get into all that. Where we want to start off? How about we start off with Gemma? So we saw last episode, Gemma had the guy that raped her, had him in her sights, and she didn't pull a trigger. This episode, she sees the girl that set her up. Oh, come save my baby. Which, I fight with myself with that one. I really do. Because if I was in a town like Charmin, I probably wouldn't go for that for Chicago. But then I don't know. I don't know if I wouldn't fall for that. So anybody that's out there maybe calling her dumb just because we know what happened, I don't know if that's fair. Because what if legit there was a baby choking? And I don't know. I don't know why I fall on the side of the coin with that one. I mean, just coming from the city, I'm just like, pessimistic, right? I don't trust nothing. I don't trust nobody. And why do I look like somebody that could save a baby? But at the same time, I don't want to drive around all day, go home, got to talk to people and be like, what's crazy? Somebody said their baby was having issues, and I never got out my car because I thought they might have jacked me. Am I crazy? I hope that baby's okay if it in fact is a baby. Like, I would not be able to live with myself either. So I don't know. So I'm going to give Gemma a pass on that one. I think you just kind of got to, you just got to hope that person ain't a complete piece of shit. Which in Gemma's case, she was wrong. That lady was 100% a huge piece of shit. And she locates her and Tara. Her and Tara has been getting tighter and tighter, right? She comes to Tara about her dry vag this episode. I think she said the Sahara vag sounds like a just a dusty, crusty place. That sounds. Gemma looks it though. Is anybody think I'm not? I'm never gonna get into that because I don't want that visual in my head. Peggy Bundy, sure. Gemma, not so much. I don't want to. I don't want to get into that. But she like Tara has become her confidant, and when she sees that lady out on the street, she about to run down on her. I'm like, okay. So I'm thinking she probably mad at herself from the day before where she couldn't shoot the dude that actually did it. But she knows but she is like has a master class in beating bitches up. Like she beats she beats women up all time. ATF agents, fucking whores that may or may not have smashed Clay. Like this is what Gemma does, right? So she's like, oh, this is a little bit more my speed. I'm a little tight from the other time. I couldn't get him. I'm gonna get this one. So as she does this old lady trot down the street, like I didn't know who she thought she was catching with the brisk walk run. like she was not gonna bust a sweat. She could have did that for 14 miles and not cracked a sweat with how she was moving. So I was like, what is that? And then we see that she sees the truck, she sees the guy. She's like, okay. But Gemma's the only one with all this information. And Tara's behind her, and she did a descent move, right? If you ever seen the horror movie Descent, it's a classic lesson of do not creep up behind people in like tense situations. Granted, Tara didn't know it was a tense situation, but she should have. She should have read the room. Why else would Gemma be chasing somebody down if not for the drama? Like Gemma has no good intentions when she's chasing a woman, Tara. So you should know this is like a high pressure situation. Whether you know the ins and outs, you know Gemma. So you should know you shouldn't be running behind her and instead get popped with that pistol. Gemma stay with that pole on her. Gotta give her that. Busted up Terre Haute shit in which it is an accident, but it somehow gave them this moment in the church chapel because Unser, last episode attempted to do some type of trickery with happiness. Like, yeah, I saw the cancer group and they made me happy. I think this rape support group would make you happy. And that was unsuccessful. So it seems like in Tara's busting of the nose, it gave her an end to somehow be closer to Gemma and try to get her to seek help. She shares the story of that nasty, nasty agent. I love Gemma's reaction of, what did my son do? What did Jax do? And Tara held it down like, it's too late. He'd been left, it was nothing he could do. But the main picture is, I had to tell somebody. Oh, yeah. Imagine that. Imagine telling Gemma exactly what y'all did. Well, we murdered the agent, and while his body was leaking out on the carpet right next to us, we decided to fucking rekindle our relationship. That's when we got back together over a dead body that was right there. So, but I gotta be honest. If you're gonna tell anybody that story, it's probably Gemma and Tig. That'll probably be like, Tig might, I don't know. He might be sporting a half, little thing down there. He might get too excited, but he'd be for that story. Gemma, she'd probably be on some the fuck, but yeah, okay. I can see it, I guess. So, yeah, I feel like those two will probably be a safe bet to share that nasty story with. But she didn't. Tara held her man down. But what I noticed is, see, you're not gonna win Gemma over with logic. Damn, they ain't gonna win her over with emotion. That's a cold woman. Gemma's a cold lady. But what Tara successfully did, well, pseudo successful, she decided to blackmail her in the sweetest way. Like, look, I already set up an appointment. Go holler at my homegirl. She's a psychiatrist. Y'all talk it out. If you don't, I'm going to go tell Unser that you assaulted me, and you're going to have to spend a day or two in jail. So it's really up to you. And that's how you win Gemma over. Gemma appreciates somebody who uses extortion tactics. She respected it, right? And then she respected it so much that she had to share it, and she could only thank Tara in a way that was such a Gemma way of thanking somebody, because Gemma makes the humans like human beings most basic, like, what is the word, niceties, or just like, I don't know what it is, but the thank you, the please, the thank you, you're well, she makes like that basic little whatever those are so difficult. Like, she makes it seem like I don't know. I don't know. Like, she puts this unnecessary stress on being a decent person. That her best apology was, "Hey Tara, before you go, by the way, I just wanted to let you know if the roles were reversed, I'd have been cut your ass off. I'd have been like, Shorty, you've been raped. Get over it. Fucking get away from me. Stay away from my son. I could care less, right?" She's like, "But what you doing for me, you know?" And the club, right? We did see Tara sporting the Sam Crow t-shirt this morning. So she's feeling herself, more and more onto that side. Hence why I think this bond with Gemma is getting a lot closer. And what happened to Wendy? Is it just me that's looking for Wendy? Like, she just disappeared. One night at the party, she saw Jax and Tara. Oh, at the funeral. Last episode, I think the season 1 finale, that was the last time we seen Wendy. She saw them booed up at the funeral, and then she just disappeared out of Abel's life. Like, where I don't know. It was a little, where's she at? Getting right, I guess. Is that what it is? Okay. I'm sorry, that was random, but I was just curious. Like, where the fuck is Wendy? But yeah, so that was a Gemma apology, half-handed, like half-hearted, I should say, backhanded apology, and she goes down there, which is a great scene. That's a terrific scene. Gemma is down there. She's waiting. She sees a disturbed woman sitting across from her, which I'm not gonna lie, she looked like old girl off the ring, like the thing that came out the TV. She looked like that's what she was before she was in the whale, all dipped in black goop and moving all like a fucking Jabberwocky, like it was America's Best Dance Crew or some shit. And so she sees her and she's like, what's up with this one? And it looked like she wanted to ask her, like, yo, so what the fuck are you here for? Like, Gemma got that prison mentality. Like, she wanted to look over and ask you, like, so what are you in for? Like, I'm curious, what did you do to land yourself here? But I guess she was just like, this ain't the place to do that. And then her very next scene is a woman exiting in snot-nosed tears, and a very pleasant lady asking her, like, "Hey, so I'm ready to tap into your emotions. You see this? You're gonna." And it was almost like Gemma was looking at. It was only two outcomes, right? I think that's what that scene was to show us. What her real fear is. Gemma's real fear of talking to somebody and actually reaching her root problems would leave her in a comatose type state, right? Like that lady, that disturbed lady that was sitting out there. Or it's going to leave her broken and crying and sniveling. Two things that Gemma does not find fashionable, would probably not fit Gemma. And I think she looks at it in those extremes and is like, yeah, no, I'm not Tara's friend. I'm fucking out of here. Running into Jax, who came to check in on his girl with the busted nose. It was like, damn, ma, like, you got a knack for just busting motherfuckers in their face. And I'm like, that's true. That's a Gemma exclusive. She should add that to her finishing move. A busted nose. But Gemma and Jax's relationship, like, it is the funkiest thing. They ain't really, it's like they love each other. And for those just listening and not watching, I put it in quotations. They love each other. Those, I did quotations again. And it's like, but it's just so phony. It's like, okay, it's like they love each other but don't like each other, or they got this weird battle. It's been happening in season 1 where you see they're semi devotion to each other, but then it's a lot of untrustworthiness. Like that's really what it is. Like they love each other, but they don't trust each other at all. Like that scene in the kitchen when Jax was looking for his father's book. He says it was the Harley manual. I think he was looking for the book though, because Piney ended up giving him his. So um, yeah, I think he was. So no, he was just looking for the legit Harley manual, but he going through. He knows it's there. So he asked Tara, like, "You been through my shit?" She's like, "No, I don't fuck with no garage shit." Fair enough. And then Jim was like, "No, I'm gonna take this one on." And I'm like, she's not taking this on to like protect Tara and not get Tara into trouble. Cause what I mean, it's Gemma. What is like? What would she care? But it was Jim was like sneaky way of saying, "Yeah, I know what's been going on. Your dad's book. I didn't read it or something like she did that on purpose. Jax picked up on it immediately, like, so what did you find? Oh, it was just some dirty clothes, some musty clothes, and this and that. No manual, I ain't see shit. And he's like, so okay, so what did you do with that box? I tossed it. And he just like he couldn't do nothing but smile, like, you tossed it. Something that's meaningless, something that been sitting there forever. You decided this was the box you was gonna throw out, and he knows what was in it. So he just smirked at her like, okay. And then she's looking at him like it's like a missing conversation right there. Like they want to have with each other, but they'd rather I don't know. I don't know. It's just a weird relationship between them two. Like both of them exactly know what the other one's got going on, but neither one of them will speak on it, and they're just gonna play pretend. But it's only so long fake thugs can pretend. Okay, something bad is gonna happen, and they're showing us this early on between them two. Like something bad is gonna happen. They had no trust in season one, and the fact that they both are playing each other, know what the fuck each other's got going on, knowing that they're at opposite ends, but going to pretend to be this loving father. I mean, loving son and mother shit. That's gonna come to a head, and it's only gonna get worse. There's gonna be larger situations and but they land the groundwork right now for their initial relationship going forward. All right, now we off the family drama. Let's get into some club drama. All right, now Clay decides now that Zobel's all set up that it's time for him to collect. Right, he goes in with his regular mobster-like activities, saying, "Hey, a lot of shopkeepers around here tend to pay their dues. So you're up next." So Bill's like, "Oh yeah, I already know. You give them the startup capital, and then you're a loan shark. You're asking for exorbitant amount of money back monthly. But as you can see, I didn't need no startup capital, sir. So what now? And then of course there's protection. And right there, Clay should have known, but he's dumb. He should have known right there when he said, "No, you also got to pay for protection, right? You got to pay to play in Charming." And when Zobel's reaction is immediately, "Oh, so you're adding extortion to your gun running and things that you do. You're doing a lot of bad things for somebody that's just a motorcycle enthusiast, all right?" And right there, Clay should have been like, "Oh shit, he is heavy with this police shit. He is big snitch energy." Like that line alone should let you know when a man that calm with a rap sheet that clean and money to just set up these different cigar shops in various towns. He's a wealthy dude. So why wouldn't he use the number one resource he has, which is law enforcement? And you're a criminal. It seems like he could get a lot of things done on his end for free. Where you gonna have to scrounge and plot and plan and run and all this goofy shit. So right there, he should have known he was going up a different type of competition. This ain't the Mayans, my guy, where they're just gonna bang it out with you. There's no cops, police. What? No, no, we're not doing that. I'm gonna shoot you. I'm gonna try to shoot you. Right? No, this dude is playing by a totally separate, different set of rules, right? But Clay didn't pick up on that. He just robbed the man of several cigars and fucking took off in the front door and said, "I'll hear from you soon." So naturally, Zobel's going to react. He goes down and in pops Hale. Now Hale is. I was mad at Hale. He was missing last episode because I had beef with him. But this one, after sitting across from Zobel and he gave him two DVDs. One with Opie blowing the shit out that crib, right? And two, him accepting a letter from Darby, and we all know that was just a coupon. So he's letting them know, like, look, you show this one, or we're gonna expose this one and say that you're with Aryan people making deals in Charming. So now Hell is up against it because it's the exact place he never wants to be, and because he sees Unser, like in this episode, it's another great scene between them two, where Unser is sick of his self righteous shit, because Unser asks him straight up after getting pressed by Clay, like, "Yo, look, don't tell Wonder Boy nothing, because we think Zobel got both the Hale brothers under his belt." So Unser goes in to press him. Like, bruh, is this true? Like, is this what you're doing? And immediately Hale deflects and goes to tell Unser how dare he even ask that question when he is like a lapdog for Clay and has been for many, many years now. So this is where Unser gets fed up, which I appreciate because I'm like, I'm only gonna take so much from you, bro. Like you act like you may have had me before with your squeaky clean record, but Hale has been getting dirtier and dirtier and dirtier, and I love it because the dude that's acting, the guy that plays Hale, he's playing like his character to the T. He is angry now. Hale used to be even keeled. He would smirk and just fuck with the Sons. He would try little shit. You know, he was kind of cocky, right? Now he's just a miserable, angry dude because he got Zobel on his ass with a setup. He definitely ain't trying to work for the white nationalists. But then on the other hand, they're trying to take out his longtime rivals in the Sun, so he's conflicted, and he's still got Don on his brain. He's got a whole lot of shit working out. Unser is fed up, calls him out on this shit, and decides to share with him the secret that he's not supposed to. So Unser immediately, I don't give a damn that what the reason was. He could have portrayed this without, you know, um, going behind Gemma's back and like sharing some real shit. Like she said several times, this is Gemma we talking about. Trusting both of you with this vital information not to share with anybody. And the second Unser feels a little, I need to make a drastic move. Let me trust Hale with this information. Hale. Let me trust Hale with this information. That's a hell of a gamble. But he tells him about what Zobel and them did to her, and Hale is he's furious. So he comes back and triples down, right? Because we see that his brother's running some land scheme on the dude that runs the town, that's got all the money that Clay has in his back pocket. So Hale gives Unser that information, which is very critical, because anybody that can make that happen for the town's wealthiest man is looking good. So he gave Clay extra kudo points, but he also let Clay and Jax know that, yo, they trying to set y'all up. Look, here go the DVD. I'm not showing nobody. Fuck Zobel. So now, right now, it's like Charming versus Zobel. Hell is all in with the Sons. Well, what do you know? What do you know, you fucking hypocrite? Talking all that shit to Unser, and now you're a better version of Unser. You out here saving land, right? That whole eminent domain shit. You putting possibly more money into Clay's pocket in one act of just that information than Clay probably ever has received from Unser. Like, that's a huge thing. If I save some wealthy's man land, let him know that hey, you ain't got to sell. See, that's why you need friends like me. That's way more valuable than any type of looking the other way when I did drug runs that Unser could have ever did for me. So Hill is like excelling at being young Unser. And then he's giving them vital information about Zobel and what his possible plans are, and that gets Jack's brain to thinking. Now, what I hate about this, right? Because Zobel is upset. So what does he do? He sends people after Otto that's in jail, some of the Aryans, to go get Otto. Now, it was when I saw this, I'm like, okay, so Kurt Sutter was about to play an attack scene, right? Like, and I got to be honest with y'all. If Real wrote this episode, like if I was a writer of anything and I was putting myself in it, 100%, I'm like Muhammad, Bruce Lee, John Wick. All right, I'm whooping ass. My scene, when I watched him get his ass kicked and his other eye taken, I said, "Holy shit, this is terrible." And you know what I thought was funny? I was sitting there thinking to myself, like, "Yo, what if he had both eyes?" I highly doubt dude would have ever stabbed him in the eye. Like he probably would have pierced a hand like crucifix style, knocked him out, stuffed him, stuff. But when dude saw that he only had one eye left, I felt like that was extra motivation to take that other one. Like, oh, this is a prime opportunity to really fuck you over and make you completely blind. And I mean, there's no good time to have one eye, but that's really a bad time to have one eye when you in prison. Because all day motherfuckers are staring at that one eye you got left. Like, I wonder if I just took that eye. Like, what if I just fucking Kill Bill and took that other one? Left this motherfucker fucked up. So, that didn't really work out for Otto. But I was like, salute to Kurt for being humble and writing in his own ass whooping. Couldn't be me. Not writing my own ass. I couldn't even see me writing that on paper. I'm about to get in front of the camera in a fight scene? Me? Shit. I'd have whooped them in spectacular fashion. Right? I'm talking about old school like action film fights. Like I would have uppercutted a motherfucker where his feet is like parallel to the ground, like when you lift them up. Boy, I'd have gave him one of them. I'd have wrote that shit in. I'd have blew some of the budget on my fight saying, shit you not. If I could get that off. And then what I would have did was say, hey, I would have changed it to, yo, the Aryans keep trying to jump me, bro. They own that. Figure this out. I need help. I need backup. More is coming. And then I would have put that urgency onto Jax. I wouldn't have lost my eye for the for the club to care. Right? That's not how I would have wrote it. But salute to him. He's way more humble than I am. Couldn't be me. So now, what I find interesting next is the politics of this episode. The politics I found that was lacking a lot. Like they talk about club, we always see them at the table, they're discussing business. I think this might have been the third time I've seen an actual vote, right? Any other time is Clay fucking just doing what he wants. And Jax either saying, fuck Clay, I'm going to do what I want, not taking a vote. Right? Very few times have we seen them actually take a vote. But even fewer times have we seen something like this with the politics. So now they're playing a numbers game, right? So you see Clay on one side rallying up his troops. He's like, all right, who we got? I got Tig on my side. Probably got Opie. No, it was Tig and Opie right there. So he's like, okay, I got Opie and Tig right here. He's like, they breaking it down. Who's going to go which way? Juice? What about Juice? Yeah, just make sure he knows he's with us. He's the one we need. That's the one vote we need. Bobby will probably roll with us too. So that should be a easy 5-3 vote, you know. And Opie Sam, you know, my father's probably going to go with him and probably Chips. You know, so we see the squads. This really broke down the squads at the table. We always knew that Clay and Tig was tight as shit. And we knew that Juice and Tig had their own little thing. Chibbs, we never knew where he really fell until this episode. We see he's on Jack's side. Piney was on Jack's side after the funeral. And I guess Bobby would be. We would have considered Bobby on Clay's side 100%, just like we would have considered Opie on Jackson's side 100%, which makes this so fucking terrible. Oh, I hate that I had to see Opie like plotting against his mans on how to win this vote, this retaliation vote against Zobel and them, with the two dudes that tried to kill him but murdered his wife. Like, that was just rough for me to watch. Like, he's like, oh, my father. Yeah, my father's probably going to go with Jax. Bitch, you should be with Jax. The fuck? Get away from these two motherfuckers. Are you shitting me? I'm like, oh my God. Oh, it's just disgusting to watch. It's like, oh, I don't know. It's just so excruciating to watch Opie's dedication to Clay. It's, oh, and I know it's not going nowhere because it's only going to piss Jax off more. And Opie's just going to get mad at Jax for Jax being mad at him. So it's just finna continue. And Jax cannot share this because he doesn't want Opie going fucking, you know what I'm saying, atomic on the club, which is very possible. But we see Jax politicking. He's going over, he's talking to Chibbs, make sure he's got his alliances together. And what I see is the difference between the two in their politics. Jax was actually out there explaining, giving reasons, allowing people to come up with their own. Like, Jax was leading people to the answer he wanted to hear. He was like, man, so, it would be good if we retaliated, but we don't know this, so what do you think? And it's like, and Chib's like, yeah, we need to know what we're doing before we get in. And it's like, gotcha. So Jax is not going to tell you. He's going to, like, help scoot you along to the answer you want. So that's very smart. What did Clay do on his side? Right? He let Opie work it out. And he just hoped that who was his people, and he just ordered people to go, hey, go talk to Juice and make sure he knows. And that was the extent of Clay's politics. No. And then you see Jax down there talking to Bobby. And Bobby's been concerned with this whole Clay and Jax shit. And Jax told him straight up, I can't tell you. I'm sorry. But think about what I'm talking about. This is with the club, and you see Piney coming in. Piney's all team Jax. He don't give a shit. Jax can't do no wrong as far as Piney is concerned. So I thought that was a very interesting episode. We see the different alliances, and we see the different styles. And we also see why Clay doesn't want to come to the table very often. Because he wouldn't win. Once Jax get to talking and lays it all out there with logic, talking about, hey, I love Otto, wish it never happened to him, but I wish I'd give him his eye back, but I don't love that nigga's eye more than I love this club. And Zobel is different. Jax is the only person that is respecting the competition. Clay feels like he's just some other random white supremacy dude that he could just stomp out. Because that's all he knows. Oh, me, Clay, mad. Give me club. I beat things. I hammer. Oh, Clay. Ooh, fire. Ooh, what's that fire? Will. Oh. You know what I'm saying? I still am amazed that Clay doesn't get shocked at seeing his own reflection in the mirror. Oh, what is this? Who is this person on the other side? Oh, and then start beating the mirror like, oh my God. But yeah, so, but at that scene at the table when everybody left out after that vote, which was a tie, which ends in being no retaliation, we wait because then you have to re-vote again. And I would imagine some time has to go past. But in the meantime, we land low, which is what Jax wanted in the beginning. But now, the best part, I think might be the best scene this episode, is when Bobby stays back. Everybody leaves out. Clay is there looking like he took an L. And Bobby stays back. Because he knows that this conversation needs to happen. And he lays it out to him like, look, when you want action, you go get Tig. But when you want the truth, you come get me. And I thought that was powerful. And he was like, man, I'm just telling you, this is what's best for the club, not jeopardizing it. And it's nice to see that somebody is putting the club first. And I thought that he should have took that line very serious. I don't know how Clay took it, But I thought that was a super powerful line because his whole fear is that Jax is gonna take over and push him out sooner than he's ready to, and fucking run it like his dad would, his real dad would. So, Clay is sitting here seeing the realization of his club gone. But Bobby laid it out, and then they hugged it out at the end, and then the very explosive van scene where poor Chibbs is fucked up. Thank God Tara was there. Always nice to have a house medic on board. But for those who never seen it, I would be scared for Chibbs. Like, holy shit, they killed. That's a lot of blood, and he was very close to that bomb. We all seen the other guys when Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg tried to walk away from that building being blown up, and he was like, "It's really hot. It hurts so bad. It's not like the movies." I love that movie. That's a super underrated comedy, for sure. But yeah, Chibbs will be fine. But what won't be fine is that non-retaliation thing. Them boys been pressing them to fight back, and that Chibbs shit might break the mold. So. But I think it was an excellent episode. Learned a lot of things. Saw the real politics of the club, and we see Clay. We see Jax really getting a foothold this episode. So, wow. But yeah, man, that's it for me, man. Hope y'all enjoyed this. Should I put the Discord link down there? Yeah, I'll drop it. Yeah. But protect your health, yourself, your wealth, man. Your boy Rose out of here. Peace. Yo, I know I don't need no introduction, but y'all know who it is, man. It's your boy Hollywood Rail, and I appreciate you for sliding through and watching these videos. But you know what I need from you? All right, if you ain't already, I need you to like this and subscribe this, man. We at 1,000 trying to get to 2, all right? Push it for your boy. Get them algorithms up. So when it come to that subscribe button,